Welcome back to our channel. Welcome to our class. You might be able to hear me a little bit more than normal because I have a mic, I have a little headset, so please feel free to leave me any kind of feedback if you need me to talk lower, faster, whichever. I am sitting on a couch because today's class is going to be a 15-minute chair or couch or office chair yoga class. So I teach this class on Mondays at 12:15, and I think I have one other recording, but I figured I might as well make some more. So we are going to start seated. Yay! So go ahead and just find a nice comfortable seat. You can sit on your couch. If you have a chair like this, you can use one of those. Or just like your regular office chair. I will just mention though, if it has wheels, you can put it in a braking position, or if you don't have a brake, which, living life in the fast lane, you're welcome to just make sure it's like in a spot where it's not going to roll away, because we are going to do some stuff standing with the chair as well, which you can also use like a countertop or the side of your desk or just some kind of stationary object. So we're going to go ahead and get started seated. So you're going to go ahead and sit back in your chair, but you're going to be sitting up straight and nice and tall, but leaning back. So we're not going to just be like, slouched forward. You really want to make sure you're sitting up nice and tall. If your feet don't comfortably touch the floor, bring something underneath your feet, whether it be a book or if you have yoga blocks at home. So we're just going to sit up nice and tall. Palms are going to be face up. We're going to close our eyes and we're going to start to connect with our breath. So I want you to take a nice smooth inhale. Exhale out your mouth. Nice smooth inhale. Full exhale. Eyes can be open or closed. Just bringing the awareness into our breath, feeling each inhale and exhale. And then we're going to move that awareness from our breath into our body and just kind of see how we feel today as far as our body goes. So maybe you slept in a weird position and your neck is kind of bothering you today. Maybe your hips are tight, your back is tight. Maybe you rolled your ankle the other day, or maybe one of your toes is giving you a little bit of feedback. So this is just a time where we can kind of go through the entire body and see how it feels. Checking in, making sure that we're not going to be applying too much force into those areas if they are feeling a little sensitive today. And then we're going to move that awareness from the body and the breath and into our mental space and ask ourselves, how are we feeling today? Did you wake up this morning and you're feeling like super jazzed and ready to take on the day? Maybe you woke up and you're like, I need 2 more hours of sleep, please. Thank you. However it is that you're feeling, just simply inhaling into that awareness, exhaling, receiving that information, and allowing it to kind of settle into the body so that we know, like, okay, I'm not feeling the greatest today, or I'm feeling super awesome and I'm ready to take on whatever challenge Taylor throws at me. So wherever you may be, just taking a big breath in and exhaling it out. One more. Exhale. And now we're just going to bring the focus into the head. So we'll go ahead and flip the palms down. We'll sit up nice and tall, imagining like we have a string coming out of the top of our head and it's lifting us up, right? So the chin is neutral. We're not letting it jut up or pulling it down too much. We're keeping it at a nice neutral space. And on an exhale, you're going to turn your head to the right, about as far as it can go. So again, eyes can be opened or closed. It's your choice. It's your practice. We're just getting into some ranges of motion here. Just kind of seeing how it feels. We're going to start from the top. We're going to work our way down. We'll come back to center on an exhale. And on your next exhale, we'll take it over to the left. Again, eyes can be opened or closed. And you're not worrying about like looking behind you. We're just simply rotating the head. Be careful not to let the whole body go. Just rotating through the neck. And on your next exhale, we'll gently come back to center. And then on your next exhale, we're going to drop the chin into the chest. Still sitting up nice and tall, not letting the shoulders round forward. And then we'll go ahead and come back up to center. Beautiful. So we're going to work from the head. We're going to keep going down. So we're going to move into the shoulders now. So I want you to bring your hands on tops of your shoulders, or you can just kind of chicken wing them out to the side. We're going to roll just the right shoulder around. And if you're super close to the back of your couch or your chair, you can kind of come forward a little bit. I've got some room here, so I'm on my big couch, my therapy couch as we call it. And then we're going to go to the opposite side. So another thing to remember is that in yoga, we're going to do it on the other side. So if you're like, holy cow, I forgot I'm on the wrong side, like it's totally fine. Don't worry about it. Just going to keep moving. And then we're going to start to go right, left, right, left. Now, if you've got some kind of prior shoulder injuries, really take some extra awareness here, because you don't want to go crazy and then the next thing you know, you're not able to move your shoulders tomorrow, right? So we're going to, if you have to, you can kind of start slow and just kind of get the movement, maybe even just going back and forth here instead of like a full rotation around. But for the majority of us who haven't had any prior injuries there that we are aware of, this should be okay. And you really want to make sure you're moving like this every day, right? So we're going to come back to center, and then we're going to do exactly what I was just talking about. We're going to move our shoulders in each different directions. So I'm actually going to come forward just so I can show you how we're going to do this. So your arm is going to be by your side, right? We're going to have that winged in. We're going to go forward. We're going to go back, like we're kind of, and then we're going to take it out to the side. So we're going to go back, forward, out, back, forward, back, out, and just kind of working in all different directions. And then we're going to go to the other side. So forward, back, out. Forward, back, out. Forward, back, out. Forward, back, out. Go a couple more times. Nice. Perfect. Now we're going to bring our arms out into a goalpost position. We're going to come forward in our chair a little bit. So if you're seated all the way back, I want you to come forward so that your knees are on the couch itself. And we're going to come into this goalpost position. Pull the ribs in. Sit up nice and tall. Remember, think of that string coming out of the top of the head. Every time I do that, I just imagining the back of my neck lengthening up instead of going out. Because... and I'm going to show you guys something, and it's terrible, right? Sometimes I catch myself in my car, and I look like this. And it's terrible for your neck and shoulders. So I've been lately, like, really thinking of this string pulling myself up and trying to think of, like, a ballerina, right? How would a ballerina sit? What would the ballerina do? So we're going to come into this goalpost position, feet flat on the floor. We're just going to start to kind of twist side to side. So getting a little bit of thoracic movement in here. And sometimes in yoga, they pair this with the breath. We're not going to worry about that today. We're just going to worry about the movement itself and just focusing on our own inhales and exhales. And then the next time you go to the left, we're going to hold here, right? That right hand's going to come onto that outer knee. And then you're going to take this left arm, and we're just going to take it back a little bit, okay? Now, if you have the back of a chair, you can rest there or on a couch, or behind you on the floor. Say you're doing this actually seated on the ground. That's another way you can do this as well. But I'm just going to keep my arm in this goalpost, keep rotating myself back, and then I'm going to let my right ear drop over to the right shoulder a little bit. Just see how that feels for myself. Feels all right. We're going to come back up. We're going to reach the arm back up. So we're back in this goalpost and we're back swiveling. All right. And if this is too much, you don't have to go into the full rotation. And then be careful of letting the elbows drop down, right? We want to try to keep them up because we're also trying to strengthen our arms and all that good stuff, the shoulders and everything. So we're going to keep going for 1, 2, 3, 4. On this 5th time, we're going to hold here. Left hand's going to come to that outer right knee. And then this right arm's going to stay in this goalpost position. You can keep it here. You can put it on the back of your chair and really use your arms to twist you a little bit more. Say you're a little more, I don't want to say like advanced, but just more comfortable with your practice and you want to take it further, you can. Otherwise, we're just going to listen to our bodies. If they're saying we're going to stop, we're just going to stop. We're going to hold here. Big breaths. We're going to lift that left arm. We're going to rotate back. Beautiful. And then we're going to take the arms up overhead. Now, this is a big movement for a lot of people. So we're going to turn the palms in, pinkies facing forward. We're going to come down, tap the knees, come up, and then take the arms back a little bit. Keep the ribs pulled in the whole time. We're just going to kind of go up and back, up and back. So we're really working on the shoulders here. We're going to start to get into the hands and wrists a little bit more in a moment. And now we're going to do different letters. So we're up. It's kind of like a touchdown. We're going to take it out, down. So it's more like a V, right? Keep going. Woo, my arms are already kind of tired. And then we're going to take them out into a T. So this time we're going to kind of wing our arms up. Woo! Oh, my goodness. People who take yoga seriously is just ridiculous. Like, come on. I mean, it is a serious practice, but at the same time, like, you've got to learn to laugh a little bit. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, my gosh. Okay, we're going to take the right hand forward. Just pull back on those fingers, flexing at the wrist. Bring the hand, turn it down. So if this is too much, don't do this. If your hand's like, if you go to like turn it out and it's still here, just don't go any further. If its fingers are pointing down, that's comfortable for you. Give it a little pull back. It's a nice stretch in the forearms. Especially if you're sitting at a desk right now, you're like, ooh, this feels nice. All right, left palm forward, pull back on those fingers. And then we'll turn those fingers down. We'll give a little pull back there as well. Nice, big breaths. And then we're going to go ahead and release. I want you to interlace the hands. We're just going to kind of swivel out the arms. And then roll the wrist around, wiggle the fingers. Make sure you get some movement in there too. All right. So now we're going to keep moving down, right? So we're shoulders, wrist, arms. Should be feeling a little warmed up pretty good right now. We're going to bring our imagination is what I wanted to say. We're going to bring our attention into our core container, right? So you've got your rib cage and you've got your hip bones and hip creases. You can't really see them right now because of where I'm at, but I'm going to stand up. I'm going to show you guys. So you have your ribs and you have your hip bones. And you want to think of this as your core container, your core box, right? And these 2 points are going to be coming towards one another. So there's a huge difference even with me. Okay, so I have a belly, right? And you might be thinking in yourself, if I have a belly, how do I know my core is active? Well, you will feel it. Trust me. If you think about where your pelvis is in space, so some of us are a little bit more tilted up. Some of us are super tucked under. You want to find this center position. And when you find that position, you're going to feel your core start to turn on. Okay, so we move from that pelvic position. So my pelvis is in a neutral position right now. And now I can already feel my core contained. But I'm going to bring it together even more. I'm going to think of these points pulling in, and I can still breathe even with my core contained. So my core is very active right now. I almost feel like I'm doing a crunch because I just don't walk around like this constantly. So I really want you to think about that even when you're seated. It's the hardest time to keep it, but you can just think about this drawing in, not a sucking in, a drawing in. and really keeping all that contained so that you can support your spine and your low back, and then you won't have so much pain in your low back possibly. You know, there could be other issues going on back there, but 9 times out of 10, it's always something with the posture and our core not being turned on in that position. So you really want to make sure it's pulling in, you feel it connected. I'm breathing a little bit heavier now because it's really taking a lot of mind and muscle connection to get those together. So we're going to keep moving a little bit here, guys. We're going to take that right hand either to the edge of our chair or a couch or wherever we are, and we're going to take one arm up and we're just going to reach it over. Keeping this contained, reaching, trying to stretch all these side muscles. And we'll come back to center. Left hand's going to come down, right arm's going to go up and then over to the left. Really reaching here. And then we're going to come back up. Beautiful. Now we're going to start to stand up. But before we do that, I want you to take your right foot forward, heel on the floor, flex your toes towards your face. And I want you to roll the shoulders back, sit up nice and tall, and start to lean forward. I've got my hands in my hip creases, making sure that the bend is facilitating from there and not from my back at all. So here we are. We're going to take our right hand, same leg, reach it down towards those toes. Maybe touch them, maybe not. It's okay. We're going to come up. If it feels okay, we're going to go down one more. Come up and down. Nice. One more. And we'll come back up. We'll bring that right foot in. If that was too much on the knee, then don't worry about that whole going up and down. Just holding here with one hand on the thigh is good enough. Flexing those left toes towards your face, reaching the hand down, and maybe touching the toe. And I'm just going to hold here this time. So you might have noticed whenever we were doing those twists, I didn't move my head that second round. And that's because it just didn't really feel that great for me. So I'm not going to do it. It's part of bringing the practice into your own body is when you make those decisions for yourself. Like, okay, I want to do that, and I'm not really feeling that today. So we're going to come back up. We're going to bring that left foot in, and then we're going to bring our feet out. And actually, I'm going to switch from the couch to the chair for this next pose here. So it's weird having a mic, guys. I'm not going to lie. I know I talk in a mic for my regular job, but it's different for this. So we're going to have our feet out wide. Toes are going to be pointing out. Once again, we're still sitting up nice and tall, right? Notice I'm not super slouched over. And you can always tell because my shoulders will round forward and these traps will come up a little bit more. And I'm not really wanting those to be like that. I want to sit up nice and tall and straight, but I don't want to let these ribs pop out, so we keep it all contained. All right, so enough about the core. I can seriously talk about the core all day. So the toes are going to be pointing out. We're going to have our hands here, and we're just going to lean forward, right? And now if you're like, all right, this feels good, maybe take one hand down, maybe take the other hand down. My butt is on the chair. We're going to let the head go. Whoop. I'm just going to kind of shake it out a little bit. Nice. Right hand's going to stay on the floor. This feels okay. Left arm's going to reach. Now, you can also have your hand on a block, or you can just have your forearm on the thigh. All right? So you saw what I was doing with the hand on the floor. I'm going to keep my arms on my thighs now for this next part just to show you this other option. So we're going to bring that left arm down. We're just going to kind of hold here. And then maybe take the right arm up as well. And again, if this is too much, you can keep the hand behind the head, or you can just put it on the back of the chair. Come back. Nice. Again, hands can be here or here. We're going to bring our elbows into our thighs. We're going to come up. We're going to bring the feet to the floor, and we're going to stand up. Now, that's a really good thing to do just on a regular basis, is making sure you're getting up, standing up, and sitting back down. Okay. So now we're going to move into some standing stuff. Okay, so you're going to stand behind your chair. And again, you can do this with a chair. You can also do this with a countertop, a table, your desk, really whatever works best. So we're going to come into downward dog using the chair. So we're going to walk our feet back, and we're going to let the head go in between the arms. Okay, my knees are bent. My hips are going back. Notice I'm not coming forward, right? Even that feels like that's really tight on my ankles. So I don't know how y'all do that. So really shifting that weight back, having the knees back behind the toes, letting the head go, and having the hands on the chair for support. And you can kind of maneuver around a little bit if you'd like, lifting one heel and then the other, maybe the toes. Shimmying the hips around a little bit. And then we're going to come back up to standing. We're going to come right behind the chair. You're going to take your right foot about halfway through the chair. We're going to step our left foot back. We're going to set up for a warrior two position. So, right hand's going to be on the back of the chair. Left toes are going to be pointing out. Right? So, directly out in front of us. The right toes are pointing toward the chair. We're going to bend the knee. This is warrior two. All right? You don't have to go any further. If you want to, if your body's like, I want a little bit more, you can bring the knee right behind the chair and bring it out a little bit more. Right hand's on the chair, left arm's going to go behind us. All right, the other option is to bring the right hand in front. If you're too wobbly, keep it on the chair. Now, if your shoulders are giving you jazz today, you can bring both hands to the hips. We're going to look forward. Belly pulls in, drawing up. Right knee is bent, and the leg is reaching outward. So this knee is not coming forward. Right? When that starts to knock in, that does not feel good. I promise you. We're going to take it out. We're going to recruit the glute, tailbone down to the floor, really rooting into our feet, and the leg is going outwards. All right? Perfect. Now we're going to take this left arm down this left leg. We're going to reach the head back a little bit, maybe look up, keep the right knee bent. We're going to come forward. We're going to straighten this front leg. We're going to bring our right forearm to the back of the chair. Left arm's going to come up at an angle. Whew. Stay here. Maybe bring the arm just on the whole back of the chair. We're going to bend the knee again. Nice. So we're coming into a side angle position. Beautiful. Left hand's going to come to the back of the chair. Right hand's going to come to the back of the chair. We're going to spin onto those back toes. And we're going to step that right foot back a little bit. All right, so we're going to come into a high lunge position. All right, so with the hands on the chair, we're really letting ourselves kind of just rest into that chair. Pull the belly in. Right knee is bent. We're going to lift the right arm up. And we're going to take it down. We're going to lift the left arm up. Take the left arm down, right arm up. All right, so one more. Beautiful. Now from here, we're going to grab our chair. We're going to really hold on to it. We're going to lean forward and lift the left leg up. Tap it down. Lean forward, lift it up. We're transferring that weight from one side to the other, and then also letting the back foot drop without looking back. 2 more. Last one. Now from here, we're just going to step that foot back, bring the other foot back, come into a downward dog. Notice my downward dog's a lot shorter this time. Wanting to play around a little bit with my legs, maybe straightening them out a little bit more. I am very flexible, so it takes a little bit more for me to get a stretch. It might be different for you. You might feel it really early on. So we're going to go to the other side, okay? So hands going to be on the chair. We're going to step the left foot in the middle. Right toe's going to go back behind us. I'm going to show the shorter version this time with a lot more modifications. So right toe is pointing out, left toe is pointing forward. Hand on the back of the chair, we're going to bend the knee. Perfect. Right arm's going to go behind us. Maybe look back at the right hand, maybe look forward. Right hand's going to go down. We're going to kind of lean back a little bit. Come back up. Reach that right arm back up. Straighten this left leg. Bring the right arm up alongside the ear. Now notice it's not as big of a movement down there, and that's okay. It's really all about bringing the poses into your body. Now from here, we're going to take our left forearm onto the back of the chair. Notice that's a lot more of a bend here. We're going to bend the left knee. Option to stay upright. Beautiful. We're going to bring the hand onto the back of the chair. We're going to spin. So we're on those back toes. I'm going to bring that foot in a little bit. So notice this is still a high lunge, even though it's a very short stance. We're going to stand up nice and tall. Then we're going to lift one arm. And then the other arm, we're just going to alternate. Here we go. Beautiful. And now we're going to switch it up a little bit. So the hands are going to go on the back of the chair. I'm going to switch my grip. I'm going to lean forward, lift the right leg up, take it down. Right it up. Now I'm going to show how to do this without even lifting the foot. If you want to, you can lift the foot a lot higher. Otherwise, we're just going to come forward on the toes and down. Forward and down. This might be where you are, and that's fine. And if you're somebody that's really wanting to increase your ability to balance, it's a good spot. Now notice I'm lifting the front toe as well, just kind of getting more into that whole transferring of weight, kind of like a teeter-totter. Go 3, 2, 1. We're going to step that foot in. Beautiful. Move the chair, my chair off to the side. We're going to come back to seat. Nice. Whew. Just go ahead and sit back in your chair. Take a moment. Close the eyes, feet on the floor, palms face up. Take some breaths here. Check in with yourself. Notice how that felt, how all those different movements felt for you. Your next inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to prayer. Bow your chin to your chest. Give yourself a thank you for dedicating this time to yourself and to your practice. The divine light in me honors, bows, and recognizes the divine light in you. Namaste. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope that you have found some movements that will help make your day go a little bit better. And of course, if you have any questions, please let me know. Feel free to write a little comment, send me a little message of any other class ideas that you have. So thank you and have a blessed day.